Tonight on IFAF.
Idaho Falls and footage, of the loud booms.
I haven't smelled it myself, and I can smell.
Yeah.
I can smell a womp rat from a parsec away.
If I were the one doing this operation and I knew it had to be secret, I'd at least have some kind of decoy going on.
Because sonic booms just sort of boom. They happen.
Right, yeah.
There's no...
Right.
There's no kaboom. There's just a boom.
They are sold out across the country. There are no more, so you can't get them, period, the end.
IFAF, Idaho Falls Local, Independent, Alternative Media, with Mike Nelson and Karley Morgan.
Welcome back, and good evening, ungovernables, outliers, and independent thinkers, momofukus, and fuddruckers.
You're just going off on this, aren't you?
Thanks for being part of the tribe. Glad you're one of us. Hit that like button, subscribe button, let the algorithm know you're into Idaho Falls infotainment, opinion, bad jokes, and dad jokes coming up on tonight's episode. What's that smell?
It was pretty foul, I'll tell you that.
More loud booms. But this time we have an exciting new theory that we immediately disprove, probably. But some video evidence and some audio evidence for you to hear. Also, armed and dangerous man on the loose in Idaho Falls. Don't worry, he's been captured.
Thank goodness.
And a Sam's Club exclusive holiday treat. We're going to start with some chill instrumental music underneath us. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Yeah, it's nice. Have you been Whamageddoned yet? Have you heard Wham's Last Christmas yet?
Oh, I don't think I have, actually.
I don't think I have either.
Okay, that's cool.
Now, I am listening to less Christmas music this year than ever before in the last 25 years.
Same. And it's something I've got to fix because it's not feeling very Christmassy this year.
Yeah, but I can still say here on December 9th that I haven't been whammed yet. Yet.
Well, we'll fix that soon.
And you know that, and I'm so grateful to see this because I remember it starting, the backlash against Baby It's Cold Outside starting about 2008.
Right.
Is when people became self-aware and went, oh, that song, and taking it out of context. And even though the roles in the song are of the wolf and the mouse, people are now realizing that the say what's in this drink was a mid-century joke that allowed the female plausible deniability in a patriarchal society that allowed her to kind of get away with a few things in a tongue-in-cheek manner.
Right.
And it's not the Christmas grape song, we have to say, since we're on YouTube.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which would also be my hope, too, because I do just genuinely like the song and think it sounds nice. And I get the implications, so I understand why that's problematic and stuff. But it is just a cute song. One
song that I'm happy to see a backlash toward is Do They Know It's Christmas?
I know. That one's so bad.
That song can go bye-bye. That song can goof.
Yeah. Yeah, that one popped up in my Spotify the other day when I was listening to Christmas music to try to get into the Christmas spirit. And I was like, this song not only is just dumb and bad and doesn't sound good, but also there are some really weird little racial implications up in here that I don't really dig, dude.
Well, yeah, and look, mad props to Bob Geldof, the dude who wrote the song, and Band-Aid for performing the song and saving thousands, if not millions, of lives. And drawing attention to the crisis in Africa and, feeding the children and all the good stuff that came out of that song.
Right.
And can we just say mission accomplished and pull it now?
Right. Well, and not only that, but also some people don't care that it's Christmas, and some people celebrate other things. So why are you so worried, buddy?
In Africa.
Yeah.
There's other holidays. And there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas. Ever heard of Mount Kilimanjaro?
Right.
Yeah. Bob Geldof, I think, wrote songs like I write songs for our AI. We're going to close the show out with a song I haven't even written yet.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
I'm going to take all the keywords. We're going to get the transcript, take all the keywords from the episode, throw it into AI, have it write a song for us, and we're just going to play it at the end of this episode.
Okay, I love it.
But anyway, because, I don't spend a lot of time. And then there's another line in there, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you, that a lot of people are coming down on.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Well, It is messed up, and just so you know, it was messed up then, and it was supposed to be. Internet warriors.
Sure.
It was supposed to really get you right here,
And
stick
twist
it
that
in and
knife,
twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to make you go, oh, yeah, that's horrible. I can see how somebody would think that way. And I can't believe that maybe I've thought that way, and I should do something to affect a change. It was supposed to be a cutting line.
Right. That makes sense.
Like that.
Sure.
Little harsh for a Christmas song, but use words as sharp as knives, I say.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just sick of Christmas songs that are just too heavy. All right? Like the
Christmas
shoes song.
shoes?
Yeah. I'm done. You know what? I want nothing but cheery, joyful, fun, bullshit songs that just don't make me I don't want to have to think. I want to enjoy. My life is already hard enough. I don't want to have to worry about anything else. I just want to fucking break this Christmas. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be emotionally molested by your fake sad story that makes no sense at all.
It
for
doesn't.
a kid to be in the hospital with his dying mother, stop everything, run down to the shoe store, buy some shoes,
Right.
in case mommy meets Jesus tonight. Not some rouge, not some lipstick.
Can you imagine if Jesus kicks her out of heaven because her kicks are not sick enough? He's like, what, you don't have the J's? Why are you even here?
Sorry, bruh. No Yeezys?
Is Jesus just that big of a sneakerhead? Yeah. Is that what's going on here?
Okay. Anyway, here's the reason we're playing this rad instrumental music for you. A friend of the show, David Scott, he started following us, in the last year. And he's just been so cool. He's just been such a cool... for example, he was the guy that gave us the stars during our...
Right, and explained what they were, too, because we're dumb and didn't know.
Because we had never gotten those before.
Yeah.
Thanks, David. So he made this album of instrumental music, which is my jam to begin with.
It's so your jam.
Specifically sort of rock and alt, ambient chill.
Yeah, it's kind of lo-fi.
What you've been listening to, for the last few minutes. And anyway, he's re-released the album. Here it is 15 years later.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's called Repeating Yesterday. He's put it free on YouTube.
Oh,
His
cool.
Christmas gift to you, link in post.
I love that.
We invite you to check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. What's it all about? Thanks, David Scott. Talented guy. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're good. It's okay.
Okay. Comments and follow-ups.
Yes. Yeah, really quick, though, I'm going to get comfy. I hope that's okay.
Oh, yes. Make yourself at home. It is a little warmish in the studio.
Yeah. I think you were trying to compensate for the dropping weather by turning up the heat a little, and now it's a little bit above the 69 we like to keep it at.
Mikey's rant last episode on people that abbreviate Christmas as C-Mass instead of X-Mass. Somebody did kindly point out that C is right next to the X on the keyboard. Could just be a typo.
Could be.
I know that when I type in C-Mass on my phone to write notes for this show, because we want to talk about it, it autocorrects it to Xmas, but that's plausible.
Sure.
Also,
my autocorrect has been on the fritz where it's not actually changing it to the right thing.
Okay.
Like if I misspell something or like mistype it enough, it'll just automatically do it the wrong way.
it memorizes.
Yeah, which is crappy for me because, I have fat fingers sometimes that don't go where they should go.
Yeah, same. For whatever reason, if something's on the bottom row, so if a word starts with a B or a V or a C, I'll oftentimes hit the space bar instead with my fat thumb.
Right.
It'll put a period and then start a new sentence with the wrong. It's maddening.
It's a mess.
Anyway, also wanted to mention, because I did look into this, you were surprised that I mentioned the first usage of Xmas was in 1721.
Yes.
I think I said 1700s. Confirmed, 1721. It was
crazy.
So remember that before the printing press, there were scribes that had to copy manuscripts by hand in order to have a new copy of it.
Right, that's true.
Well, these scribes used scribal abbreviations.
Basically shorthand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been using X for the first letter in the Greek word for Christ or Christos. They've been. I don't think people scribe anymore.
I mean, you never
I don't
know.
know. Is that like a monk initiation thing? You join a monastery? Do you have to copy a holy manuscript. I don't know.
That would be the most boring initiation I've ever heard of.
No wonder monks invented both beer and champagne.
Yeah, right.
No, actually, I think the ancient Egyptians already had a handle on beer. But
Fair.
but they've been using X for Christ since 1100.
Wow.
So, okay, I just
Okay.
want, just so you know, if you ever feel guilty and secular for saying Xmas, don't.
Yeah.
Great, I won't. Good, don't. And then our conversation about CMS led to our conversation about Creepmas.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And that reminded me, check this out. When we went to Walmart the other day, Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Things are mainstream when they hit Walmart.
I would agree.
Black Christmas bulbs this year. I don't know if they've ever had black Christmas bulbs.
I think they're cool though,
Before.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kept seeing these ads for Target that were like Goth Christmas at Target, which was funny because they did a pastel Halloween,
Uh-huh.
so it felt like it was switching. But when I went in, they didn't really have a lot, so I don't know if it was only some Targets or if it's an older line or something like that. But I was really looking forward to seeing this Goth Christmas stuff that ended up not being there.
Oh,
Bummer.
meh.
I saw like a tiny bit of it this time, but not very much. So, I think a lot of people are going more with their own personal aesthetics for
Yes.
the holidays than with the holiday aesthetic.
I think that this sort of design revolution, stores zagging when most people are still zigging.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. And I think it's meant to support individualism.
I think so too. Well, and also, how do you get people to keep buying shit and not buy it secondhand or inherit it? You change it up a little.
Yeah, exactly.
And realistically, I love my mom's Christmas decorations and stuff, but they're not really my style per se. They're all like really fabulous Disney pieces and they're in the traditional colors and stuff. But I went with like a pink nutcracker Christmas this year and it's very cute.
It's super cute.
Yeah.
Your wreath. Oh,
Thank
it's
you.
amazing.
I made it myself.
Your place looks amazing. And let's talk about your little wire stocking name designs.
Oh, yeah.
What crazy Pinterest board did you get that from? Because it's just gorgeous.
I actually have I think I saw it on Amazon actually.
Okay.
Because I was trying to think of a way to sort of personalize the stockings without having to embroider them or something. Because that would have taken way too long to do by hand and I don't have an embroidery machine. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to figure out some other way to personalize them. And I was at first looking for like ornaments in everyone's initial. But then I saw that and I was like, shit, I could do that.
So we sit down to watch Nutcrackers on Hulu. I'm sorry. We sat down to ignore Nutcrackers on Hulu. The Ben Stiller Christmas movie that I couldn't tell you what it's about.
I could. I actually really liked it.
Did ya?
I did. Do you want to finish what you're saying first and then I'll talk about it?
Yeah, anyway, here's Karley with wire and pliers making these. I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? But they're gorgeous.
I think they turned out pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited about them.
Okay, give me 30 seconds on Nutcrackers on Hulu.
Okay, so Nutcrackers is sort of like that thoughtful indie film that older actors who've only done comedy for a long time like to do once they've made their money and they're established and they don't have to worry about their reputation.
Yeah.
But basically it's this guy who's going to his sister's farm to take care of her 4 unruly sons after his sister and her husband died, which is a bummer for a Christmas movie premise. And basically he is trying to set them up with a family while he's also trying to get back to his big real estate developer life in Chicago.
Does he learn the true meaning of Christmas?
He does. He
Okay.
does. Although I think it has less to do with Christmas and more to do with family.
It's about family.
Like, I will say,
Nutcrackers.
I don't
The zany
know.
new holiday movie.
Like, I was expecting something kind of like Jingle All the Way, which I haven't seen, but I can tell it's like a big funny romp.
Never seen it either.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. We wanted to watch it last year. Let's make it happen this year.
Oh, and we've started Just Friends.
Yes.
Don't forget about Just Friends, I think also on Hulu,
Yes, it is.
which is a great Christmas movie. Ryan Reynolds, 2008?
Something like that. I think it was 2005.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Almost 20 years old. Wow.
right? I would say that it doesn't necessarily have to be a Christmas movie because it doesn't exactly hinge on it being Christmas. It hinges on them putting on a ballet, which happens to be the Nutcracker that they seem to do because it's around Christmas.
Okay.
But realistically, they could have done it with Swan Lake too, and it wouldn't have
Sure.
changed the story.
And I would say that I think it's kind of funny, but not unheard of. Isn't Ben Stiller like famously Jewish?
Oh,
I could be wrong.
No, I don't think he.
I could be wrong. His famous comedian dad, Jerry Stiller, George Costanza's dad in Seinfeld.
They might be.
But it wouldn't be the first time that the Jewish people capitalize on Christmas.
Oh, sure.
Barbara Streisand, Neil Diamond famously have Christmas albums.
Sure.
And they're Jewish.
Yeah.
The guy Irving Berlin, who wrote White Christmas, right? Isn't he Jewish?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't pay that much attention to that kind of thing.
So maybe it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, speaking of Christmas movies, Lacey Chabert, I said she was in at least 20 Hallmark Channel Christmas movies. Mm-hmm. Are you ready for the real number?
I am.
Double it. Her 40th Hallmark Channel Christmas movie, Christmas Quest, out now or soon.
Wow. Okay, wait. Here's something that you might not know, though. Did you know that the Hallmark Channel actually has a competition show to find actors for their Hallmark movies called Mr. Christmas or something like that?
I did not.
Basically, they're a bunch of actors and they have to do little funny challenges and stuff, and it's super cute and fun. We should totally watch it if we can.
Is it like the, I imagine it's a lot like the Bachelorette meme that I saw once, where which guy will she go for? And there's 20 dudes and they all look exactly the same.
No, actually, these guys they all look very different.
Okay.
Which I thought was really refreshing. Super cute, looks really fun. I would totally watch it.
Couple quick follow-ups. Orcas wearing dead salmon hats. Eat It or Wear It that I mentioned last episode.
Oh, yeah.
That's from Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. It was the first in the Fudge books.
So you were right.
Super Fudge was in there. Yes, so I was right.
Yeah.
Local News 8 did a segment on cooking with Kent.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, he deserves that. That's so fun.
And it was a great segment. If you haven't seen it yet, localnews8.com, I think. Anyway. But yeah, it's nice to be the podcast that the news people watch.
Yeah, I love it.
Because we've been talking about Cooking with Kent for ever since this show started.
Yeah.
We've been ordering macarons almost every time he's got them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I know we've had them on camera several times.
All right, let's get to our last follow-up. This is the good stuff. The loud booms. And we have an exciting new theory, and we finally have sonic evidence.
Okay.
Here's Aaron Belk. He's still on about the loud booms. Even though he doesn't say much, I want to play you this because I thought this was interesting.
We are not supposed to talk about the booms.
Evidently, there's a lot more booms going around than I first realized. I thought it was just here local to Rigby, Idaho, but it's not. Shortly after posting my video about the booms, I have a law enforcement friend. I'm not going to say if it's state level or county level, but he came over to my house and said, "Hey, Aaron, it'd be a good idea to pull the video you posted about the booms and not talk about it anymore." He didn't tell me if he knew what there were or what they were doing it for, but he says as an agency, they've been told to deny, deflect, and diffuse. So they don't want it to be talked about.
Whoa, so that was before the whole delay, deny, defend thing that we've been hearing about so much this past week.
Right.
That we'll talk about later on in the show with the United Healthcare CEO.
It's because we're in a simulation.
Being unalived. But let me give you my best Ron Burgundy on that, Aaron Belk. I don't believe you.
Oh.
He's kept all the videos up.
Right. Well, but just because it was suggested doesn't mean he followed the suggestion.
Right. After he released this video, he did another sort of weird looking off camera video where he was offering other possible and plausible explanations for what the loud booms could be as if he were reading off a cue card. I think he's milking it for all it's worth on TikTok, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he's a TikTok god, I suppose. He's got 500,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Anyway, he's having fun with it. We are too. And I saw a compelling theory that I think I immediately went, no, that's probably not it.
Okay.
And here's what it is. Somebody posted, the military is building an underground transcontinental railroad.
Oh. Okay.
Now, let me tell you why I don't think that's it.
Right.
If you're building an underground tunnel of any kind, you don't blast, you drill.
Right.
Am I right about that?
I mean, you'd especially if it's supposed to be covert.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I feel like they would do more to cover up the sound or explain it or something. You know, like if I were the one doing this operation and I knew it had to be secret, I'd at least have some kind of decoy going on that people could be like, oh, clearly it's that.
Maybe this is the decoy.
Maybe.
But the reason I don't think it's underground blasting is we're seeing flashes.
Yes.
So let's play the first of a few videos showing these blasts. There's the flash. And boom, baby. Here are some other booms. We're just going to play them in quick succession for you.
I'm going to show you some booms.
Mm-hmm. And boom goes the dynamite. They sort of start with a crack, don't they?
Yeah.
So I almost wonder if that crack sound at the beginning and the flash in the distance on the horizon also eliminates sonic booms.
Okay.
Because sonic booms just sort of boom. They happen.
Right. Yeah.
There's no
Right.
There's no kaboom. There's just a boom.
Right.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong on that, sonic boom experts and enthusiasts. But the best evidence I've seen so far was posted by Cleve Burnside from his security camera at 3800 East, 400 North. That's facing west. Now another guy in Rigby, Stefan, has put up a map, and he says, based on camera footage, which captured a flash, followed by a sound delay of 7 to 8 seconds, the blast seems to be within 8,000 and 9,000 feet away. Basically, the Summerfield Estates subdivision.
Oh.
Is what he's thinking, which that don't make no sense either. Having it be in a
weird.
subdivision?
Yeah. Well, and also, especially with how common doorbell cameras and stuff like that are now, it's a little weird that we haven't found the source of it if it's in a subdivision.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And then that's what we're seeing. Finally now, I'm so grateful to see these Ring and Nest doorbell camera footage that have a time and date stamp right on them.
Right.
I mean, at that point, the evidence becomes undeniable.
I would agree.
And it's kind of cool to have that in our little dirty little hands now.
I mean, although deepfakes are a thing and AI can do an
Right.
incredible amount of things, but we're going to just assume for now.
But it's something.
Yeah.
I just think it was Stefan's map especially. I keep picturing Charlie in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you know, the meme of the guy with the maps and the strings. Yes.
Yeah, I do like that. You know,
I feel like we're almost there.
And one thing I will say is I don't know if he's necessarily making up that his cop friend did tell him to maybe take him down. Now, the reason I say that is because A, he can totally ignore him. It's not like it's a legal order. And also, maybe since it could be under investigation, they might want him to take it down because it could taint a jury pool or it could, hinder the investigation in some way. It could. So whether or not it's like a conspiracy or something, I could see a cop saying, hey, you should really take that down because there could be a crime here.
Other prevailing theories, oxygen and acetylene bombs.
Oh, okay.
Kids blowing shit up out in the desert.
Yeah.
Or the military blowing up stuff out in the desert.
I will also say that this does not disprove that it could still totally be aliens.
Another few quickies for you to know about. Christmas River in Manan is now open.
Oh, nice. We're going to have to go. That'll be fun.
I think our flamethrower pipe organ buddy, Jonathan Elkins, is there for this too. And does he play the Grinch? I'm not sure.
Oh, that's fun.
But that looks fun.
Are they going to utilize the flame-throwing pipe organ for that?
How would they do that? I don't know. But maybe we should go and find out.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Also, have you seen the bright star, the bright Christmas star that's next to the moon this past week?
Oh, I haven't noticed.
In Idaho Falls. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Okay.
And it's huge. I had to look at it for a minute and go, is that a plane?
Okay.
Like it's
cool.
really, really bright.
All right. Yeah, I'll give that a look. That sounds fun.
Oddly, the star is Venus. I would think that if there were a star next to the moon, it would be Uranus.
You see what I have to deal with?
No,
That was actually really funny. Thank you.
it's Venus. Okay. Of course, we had to make that joke. In the It's About Time category, there's a new Facebook group in East Idaho called Is This Your Porch? Because that's my package.
Oh, I've seen that. I think that's kind of funny. And especially with Christmas.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of missed deliveries.
I'm an empathetic guy. And so I see when somebody desperately posts this is the picture that Amazon or FedEx or UPS, whoever, sent me to prove that they delivered my package, only that's not my house.
Right.
I feel so bad because what if that's important?
Right. You never know. Especially nowadays, people get their medication on Amazon.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder how much the industry is, listen to me, all concerned about our late stage capitalist overlords, but I wonder how much the industry is losing on refunds or returns or whatever, or packages that didn't get delivered these days. That's got to be a growing problem.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I think at least the Amazon delivery drivers have to be within a certain GPS location.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I have heard that before.
But then what about apartment buildings?
Right.
That are stacked 2 and 3 on top of each other?
Well, and I've seen people saying before too that they've driven around their neighborhood looking for this porch and can't find it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting too, because you would think that it'd be like a house or two away, at least on the same street, So when it's not, it makes you wonder, like, what the hell's going on here?
Right.
Yeah.
At that point, I wonder if it's a coordinates thing. Like instead of 3,500 east, 500 north, it's 3,500 north, 500 east.
Right. I could see that.
Like in the exact opposite quadrant, maybe?
Yeah. Those are easy to switch around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that smell. It's time to play What's That Stank? Everybody is saying that it's Intermountain packing.
Yeah, I saw a ton of those.
Everybody's been complaining about the smell. Karley, I went there this past week.
I think that you went there and didn't smell anything the same day that I didn't go there and did smell something.
Okay. Yeah, it was just sort of this vague smell that I had a hard time describing.
I feel like it smelled like sewage.
Okay. People are talking about that too. And so I'm almost wondering if it's two different things.
Yeah.
Here's why I ask. Here's a map of Idaho Falls with a red pin for Intermountain packing. Intermountain packing is sort of in the middle and to the north of Idaho Falls.
Right.
You can kind of see the city cluster there, and Intermountain packing is all the way toward the top. Our wind typically blows from the southwest to the northeast, which would put the smell for Intermountain packing, right in between, what is that, Yukon maybe? Right in between Highway 20 and Highway 20 to Rexburg, Highway 26 to High C.
Right.
So why are we smelling it like
in town?
Some people are saying like on Sunnyside. And I guess if the wind were blowing more west.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. Plus,
or
wind
east from the west.
Well, and also wind is crazy. And like, even though it's blowing in one direction doesn't mean it's not creating little buffets of wind going the opposite direction and stuff.
Right.
There's lots of stuff like that could be happening. Which sucks because it makes it so much harder to triangulate the smell.
Well, and I know better than to say just because it hasn't happened to me doesn't mean it isn't happening.
Right.
There are way too many negatives in that, so I think I said the right thing, but I think you get what I mean. With the loud booms, I haven't actually heard any myself. We listen to the recordings. With the smell, I haven't smelled it myself, and I can smell. Yeah. I can smell a womp rat from a parsec away.
Right, exactly.
I can detect things with my nose. I have a friend who lost his sense of smell during COVID, and he's just now getting it back a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he lost a ton of weight because food was no longer appealing.
Yeah.
Which was the upside there.
Right.
But I sort of have FOMO. I'm missing out on the booms and the smell.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely did smell it. I smelled it walking out of the Dollar Tree near Fred Meyer. And yeah, I kind of thought it smelled like a fart. Like a really, really, really stinky fart.
Yeah.
Like an old lady fart, something like that. But yeah, it was pretty bad, and I just remember being like, whoo, I need to get to my car because that is nasty.
What other things in town smell? What, like, I really think we ought to go to the different places in town that smell and like describe them and go, is this what you mean, East Idaho?
Right.
Is this it?
Yeah, I wonder if we could do that.
We have a lot of fun here on IFAF. Believe it or not, we can be serious too, especially when it comes to helping Idaho buy and sell homes. When it's time to make your move, we can help you too.
We know Idaho Falls and we know the current real estate market. We'll guide you through the biggest financial transaction of your life with ease and confidence. And we're backed and brokered by Keller Williams Realty East Idaho.
Dead serious realtors by day, alive silly podcasters by night. Make your move with Mike Helps Idaho. Link in post.
Ladies, go thrifting for the holidays at Elsie's Closet. Upscale resale women's fashion.
Right now, save on sweaters, boots, and jackets, festive socks, jewelry, pins, and bags. Now carrying Bumble and Bleat soapery and gift cards for holiday gift giving.
Look for the pink sign downtown on A Street. New customers use promo code IFAF to save 15% on your first purchase. Elsie's Closet. It's not just a stop at the thrift, it's a whole vibe.
You know who deserves a treat for the holidays? That's right, you do. You deserve Thor's chocolate.
The best artisan chocolate in East Idaho, beyond anything you've tasted before, with bold, smooth, delicious flavors, dark milk, and white chocolates, with a few keto-friendly options as well.
Made from bean to the bar right here in Idaho Falls, thorschocolate.com. New customers use promo code IFAF to save 25% on your first purchase. Thor's Chocolate. Fit for the gods.
Do you want locally raised beef for the holidays or to feed your family through the winter? Right now, Virgin River Land and Cattle Company is offering 25-pound butcher boxes with steaks, roasts, and ground beef.
You can have your very own farm-to-table experience. Find Virgin River Land and Cattle Company on Facebook. New customers use promo code IFAF to save 15% on your first purchase. Proud to donate $500 to the Snake River Animal Shelter for every Spud King's hat trick.
Who would you rather rely on for your Idaho Falls fiber internet service? An out-of-state company or the one local choice, QuickNet?
Right now, get QuickNet's crazy fast 250 service for $37 a month or their crazy fast gig service for $49 a month.
Unlimited data, no setup fee, no term contract, net neutrality, and hometown-friendly support. For Idaho Falls fiber, choose QuickNet. New customers use code IFAF to save 15% on your first 3 months.
Get a jump on holiday shopping for your out-of-town family or friends. Here's a gift-giving idea. Send them a unique, homegrown hometown tee from Teton T-shirts.
Including these cool vintage versions of the Civic Auditorium, the West Bank, and the Water Tower, plus our famous potato sack design and the classic I Heart IFT. Check out Teton T-shirts. These exclusive designs are not available in gift shops.
TetonT-shirts.com. Link in post. We're a real piece of Idaho Falls.
IFA at Christmas time. Walmart, Target, Amazon Prime. Wait for Santa to arrive. Hit road is a hell of a drive. Mike and Karley on your phone.
Oh yeah, another AI jam, baby.
Very fun.
That technology is just amazing. And that's not the AI song that we're going to play at the end of this episode. Maybe we got to do that for like every episode, is recap the episode in an AI song.
I don't hate the idea. I think it's kind of fun.
Feed the entire transcript into AI, say, write a song based on this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
We'll see. No promises.
Okay.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It could be.
This is supposed to be a hobby.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we're already doing enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now it's a jobby.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But here's something kind of cool. So apparently Comfort Care Dental actually provided a whole bunch of free dental extractions on December 7th from 8 a.m. to noon in their Idaho Falls, Rexburg, Twin Falls, and Pocatello locations.
That's right. I think they do this about this time every year. When did this happen?
So that was on the 7th, so just a couple of days ago.
Okay. How about that?
Yeah, as part of their Smiles for Santa thing that they do.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think I know
it's really cool.
Yeah. Coming next, Comfort Care Dental, your IFAF this week. Crisp High Five, whoosh, 21 finger gun salute,
Pew pew.
and Chef's Kiss.
To you. Thanks for helping people smile again.
All right, with highs in the 40s last week and mid-30s this week, the question on everybody's mind is, will we have a white Christmas?
I'm sincerely starting to doubt it.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Karley, because I turned to two places that I like to turn to this time of year.
Right.
The first one, of course, being the Old Farmer's Almanac. What did they say? Well, for December 24th through the 31st, the Old Farmer's Almanac says a few rain and snow showers,
Okay.
mild, then turning cold. So let's define a white Christmas. A white Christmas is defined as an inch of snow on the ground on Christmas Day.
Right.
Doesn't have to actually snow on Christmas, although that'd be nice,
That would be nice.
like at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But we just need to have snow on the ground. And we're 2 weeks and 2 days away. So now it's time to look at NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and see what they're saying. Check this out. And they name drop Idaho right here in their article. They say pretty much anywhere in Idaho, even though this is a national news article. Then I click their interactive map, select Idaho Falls. As you can see, we have an 88% chance of having a white Christmas.
Okay, that's good. I do think that it's kind of BS that it felt more like Christmas in October than it does now.
We've had that before where we get that early snow and then it calms down for a minute.
Right, and then nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was walking outside without a jacket all last week, you know?
So we say, let it snow. Or as Sean Connery said on Saturday Night Live 10 years ago, can you believe it?
Crazy.
Let tits now.
I'll take the tits now for 800.
That was 10 years ago. The oversized hat, it's funny. The your mom Trebek jokes, all of that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild.
I would say SNL is killing it. If you haven't watched the clips on YouTube on Sunday morning or Monday morning, they're doing a great job. They pulled out all the stops for their 50th season.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, all right. What everybody's talking about, the beginning of the French Revolution.
Yeah, right
In
here
America.
in America. Yeah.
Yikes. Brian Thompson, if you've been living under a rock, CEO of United Healthcare, shot dead in Manhattan last week. The rumor is the words deny, defend, and depose were on the gunman's shell casings.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a reference to the book, Delay, Deny, Defend, Why Insurance Companies Don't Pay Claims and What You Can Do About It.
Yeah.
I think the American public is... What was shocking to me is that happened.
Right.
And then the next most shocking thing to me was the American public is not only not too worried about it, but almost gleeful about it. It seems.
You know, it's kind of like the submarine thing that happened a couple of years ago.
When the billionaires
Yeah.
implode.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's really hard to have a lot of sympathy for people, that they don't know personally, you know, and also that they view as being a problem to the healthcare system or as being wicked or gluttonous or overly wealthy in some way.
And depending on who you ask, I'm sure the guy's going to be a martyr in some circles. I know he's got a family that loves him, and we're certainly not advocating any violence as the answer to anything ever. And I think the American people are starting to... Here's a question for you. United Healthcare, I think statistically and historically, is the most guilty, whatever infographic I saw, of denying claims.
Yeah. Yeah, they deny the most amount of claims
So,
by percentage.
yeah, is this guy working from the top and going down?
I mean, at the very
Who's
least...
next on the list? Yikes.
At the very least, this was clearly a targeted attack, and this target was very effective for getting across the gunman's message.
Right. There was an insurance company, I think that same day or like the next day, they had this new procedure all ready to roll out.
Yeah, Blue Cross.
Blue Cross Blue Shield in some states was going to put a cap on how long the surgery could be that they would pay for.
How long the anesthesia would last.
yeah.
Basically, they would stop paying for the anesthesia after a certain amount of time in the surgery. And
then after this happened,
I think that that's kind of BS anyway, because it seems to me that there are people who don't have medical licenses who are practicing medicine and deciding what people do and don't need in their healthcare, and that seems illegal to me, but whatever. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I can't say what is and is not. It just seems real weird and wacky to me.
Well, and this is just peak late stage capitalism.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, your job is to care about the health. When other countries are beating us in terms of healthcare, the system is failing us.
Right.
We're supposed to be the best, damn it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Well, and so does the American public. The memes were out of control. The kombucha girl.
Yes.
Brittany
Broski.
The meme I saw, and she wasn't responsible for this meme, but since she is a meme.
Yes.
Let's see. The two choices, the two frames were with her disgusted expression. The first frame was
It's a sort of grimace, and then
the open enrollment was this face. And then the open season was
right. Funny.
this face. Maybe.
Kind of dark.
Maybe.
Kind of funny.
Kind of dark. Again, we don't support. We're just reporting.
There wouldn't be all of these memes and stuff if people weren't fed up and angry at what's been going on.
This guy is sort of like a working class hero.
Kinda.
And that's scary.
Now, I think that once he is caught, because he's gonna get caught.
Yeah,
you know.
Want to be very clear that going in and unaliving somebody for any reason is not the way to get things done.
Right.
Okay.
I think that it sent a powerful message, and I sure wish that he would have chosen a different avenue too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that his defense is only going to work well for him if he, for example, had a family member or someone close to him who had a claim denied through that health insurer, you know, that ended up,
right.
you know,
What's
with that
this
person
guy's
dying.
Story? Yeah.
Because if he had something like that, I think he'd have actually a pretty strong defense that a lot of folks would be able to sympathize with.
Relate to.
I also think it's going to be really hard to find a jury pool because realistically, even if they don't know anything about this case exactly, they're still going to have a pretty good they're going to have pretty strong feelings about healthcare, you know, especially if they've ever been denied a claim or if they've had negative experiences with healthcare, you know?
Right. Another meme showed the trolley problem. You know this problem. It's a ethical or moral conundrum. You know, who do you save? Mm-hmm. Where on one track, it was a bunch of people who have been denied life-saving care in order to maintain high profits. And on the other track, it was the CEO of a health insurance company. Whew.
Yeah.
Hits home.
Yeah.
And then finally, one that I'm just going to say it. This dead CEO story is getting more coverage than United Healthcare ever provided.
Huh?
Ooh.
That's a burn.
Burn. Exactly.
Yeah. Yikes. Yikes. So I didn't realize when I first saw the pictures of the alleged shooter that it was connected to that case. I thought he was just some like random hot criminal.
He looks like a handsome Jake Gyllenhaal, and is he flirting with the person?
That's kind of what I heard.
Right before the
So I basically heard
shooting?
that the gal had said something like, "Oh, let me see that smile," or something like that, and that's when he pulled down the mask and they got the video. I don't know how true that is. Another thing
He does look like a handsome white male in his 30s.
He looks decent, you know, like you can never tell from that angle. Maybe he's got like a wonky eye or something. Another thing that my brother was telling me about, and he knows quite a bit about guns. So you know how there were the 2 bullets found at the scene that had the words written into them? And basically he was saying that the shooter would have had to have put them in the chamber in a certain order to make sure that those 2 were the ones that were racked in between. And also basically that he would have had to manually rack the gun in between each shot because he shot him 3 times. So it would have been shot, rack, rack, shot.
That's cold.
But basically,
that's calculated.
It's very calculated.
That's a cold ass honky.
Yeah, which also tells me that he's going to have a really hard time pleading insanity because there's so much forethought put into this.
Ah, good point.
You know, I'm really interested to see how this case goes once it hits court.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll be really fascinating.
Yeah. I do think it's rather telling that a lot of other health insurance provider companies now have removed their leadership from their websites.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I also have noticed a lot of pictures being posted on social media of like, hey, just so you guys know, this is the CEO of this company, in case you wanted to know what he looked like.
The message has been gotten.
Yeah.
I think. I just realized we haven't turned on our Jack Skellington mic lights.
Oh, no.
This whole episode.
Oh, well, let's add a little festivity to help lighten
Right.
things up. How about that?
We're going to need it after this story.
Yeah, yikes.
And then another heavy thing that happened last week is an Idaho inmate, who was, I don't know, he's awaiting his murder trial.
Right.
Escaped from a minimum security work detail in St. Anthony.
Talk about minimum.
And don't worry, it's okay. He was arrested in Pocatello without incident, but not before going through Rexburg and Idaho Falls. I think he was
on his way to Canada?
He was maybe seeing. He was seen at the Utah Walmart.
Oh,
and
crazy.
I think there was an attempted carjacking and maybe a theft of a handgun. So can you imagine
guacamole.
Christmas shopping at Walmart?
Oh my gosh.
Yikes, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going, hey, why in the hell was this guy, Kevin Quinzel, who's awaiting a first-degree murder case, why was he walked away? He just walked off his work detail in St. Anthony.
Insane.
From that correctional facility. Why was he in a minimum security kind of deal like this?
Right. Can you imagine if they would have done that with like Lori Vallow?
Yeah.
You know?
No.
I get a minimum security prison because unless they're proven to be like, you know, consistently violent, you might not necessarily need to send them to maximum security.
And he hadn't been convicted in this trial yet, although he does have a criminal record.
Well, then, that kind of, that's just dumb.
Crazy. Finally saw Heretic.
I know. We've been talking about this for so long. I'm sure you are
the minute
so
the trailer
relieved we
came
finally
out.
saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason we wanted to see it is we live in the Mormon corridor. It's the Western equivalent of the Bible Belt, and it spans, well, people will argue it spans the globe, but in particular, just in terms of LDS population, from, I don't know, Mesa, Arizona, St. George, Utah, and kind of up toward, as you can imagine, Rexburg, Idaho. We're in there. We're in that world. You are okay, here's a term I'm hearing being thrown around a lot more now these days. Exmo.
Yes.
You're a former Mormon.
I am.
A foreman.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we saw a couple of Exmo blogs on the movie. But yeah, because it features two sister missionaries that go to a house owned by Hugh Grant and find themselves in sort of a Saw-like chamber of horrors.
I mean, definitely not as gory as Saw, you know, but yeah, sort of this like mind situation where they have to make decisions based on the information he's giving them.
And let's make this the spoiler alert marker.
Yeah, sorry, we're going to get pretty in-depth here, so be ready.
Back to the guy who unalived the United Healthcare CEO. He's a terrible person. He does terrible things. But yeah, he invites these sister missionaries in, and they have a really interesting conversation about theology.
Yes. Yeah.
And then he makes them choose between two doors, one marked believe or belief,
belief and disbelief.
and one marked disbelief.
Right.
And then, goriness and horror ensue.
One thing that I thought was kind of interesting in the initial part of the movie, there were a couple of things that I definitely remember as a Mormon, especially the part where they're hauling their bikes upstairs and they're like, oh, for each flight of stairs, your husband gets 10 times hotter or something like that. I know that we did stuff like that back when I was in Young Women's.
Okay.
So that felt so par for the course.
The more you're paying into the karma bank, the more you're going to be rewarded for it. Yeah. I mean, and I think that's a human thing.
I think so. Yeah. But I just thought that was funny, the way that they worded it and stuff. And then I also was kind of, displeased with how they handled some of his questions. Because he asked a couple of things. He talked about like Joseph Smith's polygamy and stuff like that. And I felt like the missionaries' answers were like really weak sauce.
Okay.
Like to the point where while we were watching it, I was sort of coming up with what I thought were better answers in my head that I was like, why didn't they like handle that better? Because especially where they're trained missionaries who are out and getting like the most basic questions that you get when you're on a mission.
Yeah, I mean, one of the first that's asked is the polygamy question for sure.
I was a little surprised by how nervous and like weak sauce their answers were in that part. But I also get it because it's a movie and they weren't necessarily trying to get it exactly perfectly correct. They were just trying to get it as correct as they could.
Right. And the conversation he had before they realized they were trapped and were going to have to choose between these two doors.
Right.
I thought was really interesting. He said it was about iterations, and he used board games and songs as sort of metaphors for religion. So he talks about the big three, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. Those are the big three monotheistic religions that have been, okay, so Judaism has been around for 4,000 years.
Right. It's the OG.
Christianity has been around for 2,000 years. Islam has been around, let's say, 1,500 years.
Right.
By the way, and we all believe that something big happened at Temple Mount.
Right.
Which I also think is interesting. That's an area of a lot of contention where I think if you pull back 20,000 feet, you would go, oh, well, something happened there.
Right.
For the big three world religions to all agree on this, instead of being divisive about what else we don't agree on, something happened there.
Right.
And I believe that Jews believe that was the site of King Solomon's temple, and like where the lost Ark of the Covenant was buried for a time.
Right.
Who knows where it is now? I mean, if you think about it, who has the rights to Temple Mount? I mean, the Jews were here first.
Yeah.
That you don't even have to argue that point. Like, there's a record of it being sold to a Jewish person in the Bible.
That's fair.
There's a record of that real estate transaction,
Right.
so to speak. I don't know, 50 shekels or whatever it was.
Man, can you imagine the realtor on that? Yeah. You have no idea. People are going to be fighting over this place. It's got gorgeous views. Just you wait.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, why is something valuable? Because people believe that
Right.
it is. Anyway, he had a really interesting discussion on how if Judaism was the OG board game, it would be, Christianity would be Monopoly. Judaism would be the landlord's game, which if you've listened to our show long enough, you know how much we love The Toys That Built America on Hulu. So good. It was the original game that was at Parker Brothers or somebody basically stole, appropriated, whatever, from this regional hit board game. And then they made Mormonism the Bob Ross edition of Monopoly.
Yeah.
But,
Which I thought that was funny that out of all of the editions that he could have pulled, it was Bob Ross.
Why?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I can kind of see it because it's like, all soft-spoken and it's just a happy little tree. It's very,
Maybe that's
it's
it.
very quaint,
Oh, and going back to, while we're on the subject, do you remember me talking about, and it became a whole deal with people in the comments section about code switching, but basically the Mormon male voice that's adopted by a lot of LDS men.
Right.
When we get a new prophet in the church, they sort of hear that voice. It filters down from general conference to church to everyday speech. I guess there's also a Relief Society voice.
Oh, okay.
I saw that in my travels.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I would argue there's also a primary voice.
Oh, yeah.
Where you don't know it, but you talk as if you're talking to children.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But I mean, that's anytime you're talking to kids.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Once upon a time, there was a time, iambic pentameter. Okay. I'll get off of this, but he also uses the music analogy and how Radiohead's Creep was sort of a ripoff of the Hollies, The Air That I Breathe, and then also redone in the 2000s by Lana Del Rey, and I forget the song.
Right.
So that I thought was an interesting discussion.
Yeah, I thought I liked his little presentation. He felt like a theology professor.
Right. In a way, it came across as very mansplaining.
A little bit, yeah. But he makes some good points.
Yes.
And I actually kind of walked away from the movie feeling like it was sort of pro-LDS in a way.
It was pro-faith.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. That's probably a better way of putting it. I really liked the two gals that they chose for because it turns out both of those girls are actually ex-Mormon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The two gals that they've set up basically are like the happy, cheery, like, oh, I'm just so grateful to be here. And also I come from a huge family, Mormon. And then there's the sort of slightly more skeptical, a little more reserved one that's like, she's wearing like the black clothes and stuff, and she's a little bit more like
She's
reserved.
like not newly Mormon, but
she
she
sort of came
converted
back.
her.
Yeah. So I thought that was neat. I also noticed and thought it was kind of interesting that they sort of turn that one, the more skeptical Mormon, into an almost Christ-like figure, in my opinion, near the end.
Yes, I see what you're saying. It's my understanding that the church is not a fan of the movie.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know if they've told people not to see it, but they don't
Yeah.
like the fact that it depicts
Mm-hmm.
2 LDS missionaries being abducted
Yeah.
and tortured.
Yeah,
And I don't blame them, rightfully so.
right. I do think that they've got...
But I'm glad I watched it.
Right, I would agree. I do think that they have a valid point there. And realistically, I don't think that that will lead to more violence against missionaries than we've seen in the past. If anything, if it does inspire anyone to do anything, that person was already on the track to do stuff.
Right.
It might just inspire them in a slightly different flavor than they may have before.
Yeah, I mean, have the Saw movies inspired people to create real life houses of horror and do? I mean,
Right.
if you're going to be Jigsaw in a Saw movie, that takes a lot of work and a lot of planning
Right.
and a lot of discretionary income. You've got to be one sick, twisted sociopath to make that much money,
Who's independently wealthy.
and then and then take it out on people.
Right.
If you
right.
had that much money, you wouldn't have too much to be mad about. I wouldn't think.
I would agree. I really liked the film. It's by A24, which is one of my favorite studios, especially for horror. They're the ones who did Hereditary, which is one of my favorite movies. I just think they did a great job, and
Big
I thought it was
Ari
really
Aster
neat.
fan over here.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love Ari Aster.
So, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Would you like to know how many McRibs I've had in the
Since it's
past
been
week? Since last episode.
Ooh, can I guess?
Yeah.
5.
3.
Okay,
That's still a lot.
that could be worse though.
All with double sauce, double pickle, double onions.
Oh yeah. See, I like mine with double sauce, double pickle. I don't do the double onion because that would make my breath way too stinky.
Oh, man.
But man, I do love a good McRib.
Oh, man. They're just so McNasty.
Yeah, they are. They are. You like that stank on it. Yeah.
And also this week, we got all excited because
I
Burger
got so
King
excited.
has 3 new iterations of their Whopper. There's the fried pickle Whopper.
The
There's the
Mexican street corn.
Mexican street corn Whopper. Yes, please.
Right. And then the bacon hickory smoked Whopper or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of which sound great. But of course, as soon as I heard fried pickle, I was on it. You know?
Karley went bonkers.
Well, and I've been advocating for fast food restaurants to do fried pickles for forever.
Get on it.
They're just delicious. Like if you do anything else fried, if you do mozzarella sticks, you should also be doing fried pickles. Like why not, dude? And they're just so freaking good. Yeah. So I went there after like
Specifically for.
daydreaming about it all day. You know, kind of like when you want to get your leftovers out of the fridge and then as you go to get them, you realize that some other is beating you to them. You know? Yeah, it was like that. So I pull up, I go to order, and I see on their sign that it says dill pickle burger sold out. And I was like, oh no, it's like not here anymore. And she's like, yeah, they are sold out across the country. There are no more. And the manufacturer who sent us the fried pickles is no longer manufacturing them. So you can't get them, period, the end. I was so sad. Let me tell
What
you.
a tease.
Oh, what a tease. I was so upset.
So, yeah, Karley's got blue balls from not having,
Yeah, right. Well, and here's the
not
other
being
thing.
able to smash this burger.
The worst part, too, is that they also had a frozen pink lemonade that looked amazing. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? If I can't get the burger I want, then I'm going to treat myself with a little drink, and that'll be nice. And so I went to order that, and they're like, oh, we actually switched that out for a new flavor. Now it's blue raspberry, which I don't want blue raspberry. I want pink lemonade, you punk. All right?
I would say to Burger King, I think your marketing's a little off, at least here in East Idaho, because by the time we figure out you've got it,
It's
you're out of
gone.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they said their fried pickle Whopper only lasted like 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah, it was released 3 weeks ago. It sold out last week, or a week
Lame.
ago from last week. Yeah. Yeah, I was so upset. But anyway, and also, they had a physical sign outside of their location, and they had it on their board with no sold out sign, no nothing. And like, at the very least, send your newest guy out into the cold to take the sign out of the ground so that I'm not getting my hopes up. You jerk. I felt bad because I was kind of grumpy to the, I still said please and thank you, and I wasn't rude. I just said, hey, maybe you should remove the sign because that sucks.
The manager
Yeah.
needs to get off his McAss and pull that McSign. Or
Well,
wait, that's
I was going to say, since it's Burger King, he has to get off his throne.
yes.
I guess.
That's it.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, huge bummer. I was super sad the rest of the night.
If you're looking for a local treat, you might try the Christmas Caboose
Which is such a cute name, by the way.
down by the river.
That is what they should have
That's
had
the kind
in
of shit
there.
they should have shown in the
Yeah.
Hallmark Channel Christmas movie about Idaho Falls
Yeah,
that was so weirdly uncanny valley.
and so not Idaho Falls at all.
Anyway, check out their menu. Homemade English toffee and fresh baked bread, but then cute drink names like Sip a S'more,
That sounds good.
Donut Touch My Cocoa,
Oh,
Candy Cane Lane, and the Mini Snowman. Isn't
Yeah.
that cute?
so cute.
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds delightful. Like, I would love to get a little hot drink and go sit by the falls for a minute until it's too cold. Realistically, we've got at least a week of it not being horrible outside.
Yeah.
So maybe now's the time.
Do it in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
They were open when I went, and it was like noon or 1.
Yeah, they're open from noon to 8 Tuesday through Thursday, and then noon to 9 Friday and Saturday.
Okay. Shop local, get yourself a treat, take a little stroll around the river, and be one of those East Idaho psychos that pretends to be having a good time out in the cold, even though it's cold.
With the right snow gear, it's probably not so bad.
Oh, and did East Idaho Snow Park open this week? I want to say they did.
Oh, about
this past
time.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they can since there's no snow on the ground, but they've got their little snow machine, so
You know, when you hear that jingle jing, it can only mean one thing.
It's treat time, such a neat time. Better than smelling feet time.
today we're enjoying Garrett gingerbread flavored popcorn. Doesn't that sound so good?
It's treat time.
All right, can I open this?
Yes.
Now remind me, did you get this from Costco or Sam's?
This is, I'm glad you asked. This is a Sam's Club exclusive. You can only get it when you up in the club.
We all fam there.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to steal a handful and then pass it along. Okay?
Perfect. Yes. Give me
They
the
smell
feedback.
fantastic.
Give me the trough.
It smells really, really good.
Oh, smells gingerbready.
Which, I mean, really, gingerbread is just molasses flavored.
Can your, well, let's see. Yeah, it's ginger and it's nutmeg and it's cinnamon, I think it says on the bag. Can your Chihuahua Rango have some?
I'm not sure if you can have ginger.
Okay.
I'll have to find out. Anyway, can we have a bite?
Yeah.
Maybe while we do, I'll Google if dogs can have gingerbread.
Okay.
Do they usually include ginger in gingerbread? I guess they.
The front of the bag says ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon.
Okay, so I'm going to assume it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Have ginger. Those are really good, by the way. No, dogs should not eat gingerbread.
No
You
ginger
heard it here
popcorn for you,
first.
buddy. Oh, sorry. Karley's Chihuahua is a little disappointed. He's a sad Christmas Chihuahua.
He's a sad man. Poor baby. He was especially sad when I put him in that reindeer costume earlier.
Did you get a cute picture of him, though?
I did.
Let's see
And
it.
it is cute.
Okay, that's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, he hated it, though. That's going back to the store because he will never wear it again.
Let's talk about Garrett popcorn for a second, because I did live in a suburb of Chicago for a minute. You may know it as Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Garrett popcorn is famous there. Like when you go to Chicago, you need to get a Pizzeria Uno or Lou Malnati's deep dish Chicago pizza. You got to get a Super Dog, and then you've got to get some Garrett's popcorn. In fact, you may see sometimes around Christmas big tubs of popcorn that say Chicago mix, and it's cheddar, cheese, and caramel popcorn. Oftentimes referred to as Garrett mix because these are the guys that started that
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
sweet and cheesy, salty kind of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. As an adult, I definitely appreciate it more than I ever did as a kid.
This sort of tastes like Cracker Jack with a slight ginger flavor to it.
Yeah, it's basically just gingerbread caramel popcorn.
I have a nice ginger snap aftertaste in my mouth
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's good.
after having these.
I mean, honestly, probably really easy to eat the whole bag.
Yeah, I love how it finishes in my mouth.
I bet you do.
That's what she said.
Oh, and also a quick plug for Premier Protein Winter Mint Chocolate.
One of your favorite things in the whole wide world.
Also at Sam's Club. I don't know. Was it Timothy Ferris? That guy who does, I love his blog byline is Experiments in Lifestyle Design.
Right.
But like he wrote the book 4 Hour Work Week, which is a gimmicky title, but as an entrepreneur, you can kind of see what he's driving at there. Followed that up with the 4 Hour Chef, 4 Hour Body.
Right.
But he said something like, yeah, when you consume 30 grams of protein in the first 30 minutes of being awake, it's a metabolism game changer. I don't know if that's true. I actually use this as the cream in my coffee
Oh, that's smart.
because I like doing two things at once.
Right, right.
Like if I'm going to hit the treadmill, I'll also wear a weighted vest for added muscle and bone density
Right. Yeah.
and watch a lame Netflix show that I otherwise don't have the attention span for. So,
You're just a big old multitasker.
well, I mean, I think it's been mostly proven that multitasking isn't a thing and most people can't do it. But
Right.
whenever I can combine two things, I'll do it.
Sure.
Might be a fun little dessert for us after our gingerbread popcorn late night snack.
Sounds good.
Karley, what's coming up this weekend?
Well, we've got a couple of things. So on Saturday the 14th, there is the Christmas Bazaar. That's going to be at 1230 North Skyline Drive. Basically, it's an arts and crafts fair for kids, local vendors, and Christmas photos, too.
Our buddy Mia at Design DNA putting that on, I believe.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
All right.
So that'll be fun. Plus, I mean, you got to do some shopping around the holidays. Might as well do it locally.
Buy
and
local,
then-
for sure.
Right. And then on December 15th, that's a Sunday, we actually have two different things going on. So you got to pick between the two. Sorry, folks. But we've got Mannheim Steamroller Christmas at the Mountain America Center, or as I like to call it, the MAC, because it's easier and faster. And
Will
more
they
fun.
have their hockey popcorn there? Because that might be worth the $35 ticket alone.
That popcorn was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And then at the Frontier Center for the Performing Arts, aka the Civic, they're going to have the Nutcracker by the Grand Kiev Ballet. That's where we'll be going if everything works out, which I'm sure it will. I love seeing a Nutcracker performance at least once during the Christmas season.
Well, and with your whole pink ballerina themed Christmas that you're doing this
I
year.
mean, you kind of got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's super fun. I'm really excited for it.
Well, that's our show. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to leave you with the AI song recap of the whole show. You could have just fast forwarded to this point. Don't you feel silly?
Guess so.
So happy Chris Mahana Kwanzaa. Happy Gishgam Floofnir.
Love it.
2 people will get that. Stay fresh cheese bags and gratitude to you.
Toodaloo, my dudes.
All those loud bones, what's that smell? When we didn't get us yet, oh well. See, must and X, must creep, must too. Nutcracker Christmas movie on Hulu. Well, that was episode 71. We had a blast, we hope you had fun. Sad it's over, but now that it's done, sing this song about 71. Venus on Uranus, showing bright. Is this your porch? That's my package, right? Will we have a white Christmas? We can't say, but tits now make our day. That was episode 71. We had a blast, we hope you had fun. Sad it's over, but now that it's done, sing this song about 71. That was episode 71. We had a blast, we hope you had fun. Sad it's over, but now that it's done, sing this song about 71.